Good morning. Another day of bird and Bhagavad Gita Sadhana. And as you saw, I was just adjusting my camera, if you came in right at the beginning, to try to get the best view, the view most pleasing perhaps to you. And this relates, of course, to our topic today. Who are you? Well, how does this relate to who are you? Well, this is the same backyard, but depending on how I turn the camera, you might perceive it quite differently. You might think, oh, it's more wooded, or oh, it's more of a garage. Wait, it's more wooded. There we go. Oh, it's more of a garage. Oh, it's more whatever. It's more brick. It's the same thing. It's just how are we looking at it? What's the focus? And as we get into chapter 2, Krishna is trying to help Arjun readjust his focus. Remember, Arjun is extremely upset, as I think many of us would be, at the prospect of having to kill his own relatives, friends, teachers in a bloody civil war. Who am I to do this, he wonders. I thought I was a good person. Who am I? What is this person I see before me ready to kill my relatives? Who is that person? That person must be bad. I am good. And Krishna says, we got to figure out who you are, because you're not going to make much progress on the spiritual path until you know that. And the same for us. If we're having trouble getting started on or keeping going on our spiritual path, it's often because we misunderstand who we are. And in the next little bit here, I know I am the cat's feeder because he's looking at me and reminding me. Anyway, over the next little bit here, we're going to tap into this idea of who you are and why it is so important on the path. So later in the Gita, all right, we had a discussion group yesterday and we talked about chapter 12. And right off the bat in chapter 12, Arjun is talking to Krishna as if Krishna is an embodiment of the divine and says, if I'm connecting to you as the divine, is it better for me to think of you, Krishna, as I know you in your physical form with your lovely hair and your beautiful garments and your garlands? Or do I try to connect to that formless divinity behind you that permeates everything? And Krishna says, for an embodied being, it's easier to connect with another embodiment. Trying to connect to the abstract is just super difficult. So try to connect to the embodiment. And then, with devotion, all will be revealed. And Arjun's like, okay, because what Krishna is trying to tell him in chapter 2 here is who Arjun is as a soul. And Arjun's like, well, I can't see my soul, I can't touch it, I can't relate to it. All right, then we have to start with where we are now, how we are embodied. And we need to be honest with ourselves about this form if we hope to get to the formless behind. And the more challenging part even is we have to be honest about other people's forms. What we talked about yesterday is when we react from the ego, like the emotions of the ego, then our success is probably not going to have our idea of where we want to go, especially on a spiritual path, is not going to happen. But if we relate from something deeper, we will make progress, even if it's teeny weeny at a time. One of the things Krishna is explaining is, Arjun, right now you are relating to yourself as an ego, as this particular embodiment, and all those you see around you, everything, you're relating as an individual kind of discrete package that you're putting your projections on. One of the things you have to start doing, remember, you can try, and if it's hard, you just keep trying again. You have to start relating from this calm place inside of you, this balanced place, to that place in everybody else, that calmness. Then you're working soul to soul. And when you're connected soul to soul, the way you see people transforms, the way you see the world transforms. For example, I had a couple opportunities already today. The cat, who, by the way, if you ever want to be around a being who already knows that they're divine and accepts it, be around a cat. He got me with his little claw today while we were playing, and it was tempting to be mad. I'm like, no, because if he's the divine and I'm the divine, and this body, is a vehicle of the divine, then something he did that happened to this body was meant to happen, and it's the divine's will. It's promoting my growth in a way I can't figure out yet, but it is. So what I'm encouraging you to do today is to really figure out who you are. There's a wonderful practice that can help, and it's called neti. It's a jnana yoga practice, and it's instead of going, well, I am this, but am I? You sit and you contemplate everything you're not. During the meditation, I invite you to think, okay, who am I? I am a woman. Am I? Nowadays, I could get gender reassignment surgery. Oh, I could be embodied as something different. Would I still be me? Okay, I am Laura or Atmadarshan, but I've had other names and titles in my life. Was I still me? I am a teacher. I am a student. But if I'm not learning or teaching, then what am I? So you get the idea? We can do it. First, balance pose to still the mind and come to that quiet place, and then hopefully connecting to that genuine part of ourselves. Switch. Now that hopefully we're a bit more balanced in the body, which translates to the mind, we'll be able to find a deeper connection to who we are. I invite you to do that for the next 5 minutes, perhaps by reflecting on what you are not. Like you're not your job. So many people identify with that. Here we go. Welcome back. Wow, it seems to me like the time is just flying. So, was it hard to try to connect with who you really are? Some of you will say, nope. And some of you will say, yeah, who am I at the heart? Well, today, I invite you to really be honestly present with how you are appearing as an embodiment. Look at yourself, take care of yourself, honor this vehicle. It's important because the next step on the spiritual path really requires you know this. And we'll talk about why that is tomorrow. Today's practice, it's hard to figure out who to dedicate it to. Vishvaroopa. There we go. That just came to me. Vishvaroopa. We'll be talking about Vishvaroopa soon, but Vishvaroopa is basically the divine in all its forms. The grass, the bricks, everything. This is the divine. But we can honor it through its embodiment until we can connect with that abstract idea. So let's go for it today. I honor you, computer. I honor you, phone. I honor you in your individual embodiments. Let's get a soul connection going and resume it tomorrow or across time and space. Ooh, deep. See you soon.